Namo, Phat. Thanks for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The first mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I'm determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. We're reading Ajahn Amaro's book, Catastrophe, Apostrophe, for our Dharma lessons. This morning we have a section on cessation and non-arising, the apostrophe. The word nirodha is often translated as cessation, implying a thing that has begun, then comes to an end. But it also means the non-arising of something, or the restraining, limiting of something. The word nirodha thus is a convention of language that indicates an absence. Just as an apostrophe is a mark that indicates some letters have been left out of an English phrase, as in would've for would have, or isn't for is not, or it's for it is, the word nirodha represents an absence of dukkha, an absence of greed, hatred, and delusion. It is something that indicates a nothing. It makes the reader conscious of a significant absence. When there is vijja, there is awareness. Avijja doesn't arise. The whole cycle of birth and death, that division into subject and object, me and the world, is not given any fuel. This third exit point from the cycle is thus positioned before avijja appears, or after it has been dispelled. We might find this puzzling or strange, or we might find our mind wanting to work out the logic of how it all fits together. But instead of trying to figure it all out, just watch how it works. When the heart is established in that quality of the selfless, bright simplicity of knowing, notice how there is an absence of me and the world. There is seeing, hearing, feeling, remembering. But that flow of perception and feeling is not accompanied by the sense of I or me or mine. And there is the absence of the feeling of alienation that comes with that. There is a naturalness, a simplicity and a beauty to each moment. Even if what is being perceived is not pleasant or is very ordinary, the heart is still able to fully enjoy each moment because of the full attunement of the heart to its own nature. There's no need to believe or disbelieve these words. Experiment. We can explore for ourselves. In our clearest moments, how is the experience of this being and the world? How is it? The inner world and the outer world, how does it feel? The third exit point from the cycle is thus related to the third noble truth, dukkha nirodha, the cessation of suffering. Just as with the first two noble truths, the Buddha gave an instruction on how to work with this third noble truth. He named the task as, it is to be realized, appreciated, fully taken to heart. Idam dukkha nirodha arisakam sachikata bhanti. This means that the ending of dukkha is to be wholly appreciated, embodied, known as real. Otherwise, how could the heart fully imbibe the delightful truth that there is no dukkha? You might think that such an appreciation would go without saying, but the conditioning of our perceptual process tends to work against this. Say, for example, we are sitting and we hear a continuous sound, the sound of traffic or the humming of the fridge. When that sound stops, there are a few seconds of ah, as we realize that the unpleasant sound has stopped. In the same way, we only notice nirodha, cessation of suffering, in contrast to the presence of some dukkha, suffering. After a few seconds, the absence of the irritating sound has become ordinary, and so the mind ignores that absence. Ignorance has, literally, been established once again. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thanks for joining me today.